Hey, Coach, it's Trevor Gross from CUTigers.com here. Everybody talks about, Virginia losing Perkins and Reed and Dubois, so much firepower on offense. But I thought that lefty quarterback Armstrong showed the ability to run and pass the other day. That freshman number 81, 6'7" kid from South Carolina, pretty good debut from him too. What have you seen from their offense in that one game of film, and are they running pretty much the same offense as they ran last year with Perkins?
Yeah, they are. They got a great system that they believe in, and again, a good group of skilled guys. Probably the first thing that jumped out to me, I thought Armstrong really had a lot of poise and managed the game well, and then played really big when they needed him to. But I thought their offensive line really looked good. And another year, I think they have the most experience returning in college football. And they look good. They're very well coached. The transfers that they've gotten in at running back and at tight end and at receiver all look great. And the Davis kid right out of South Carolina really played well for them. So they said they wanted to improve their run game, and they really did a great job of controlling the clock and possessing the football and moving the chains. And 21 runs with tremendous purpose, really runs behind his pads well, plays with great toughness, and really kind of takes on the mantra of their football team. And but they do a great job. Again, they made it to the ACC championship last year. They're building the program the right way. They've got tremendous length everywhere, and they got a few smaller guys that are tough in space at some of the skill positions, but they've got length outside. They got length at tight end, big, long offensive line, big quarterback, and the defense is built really the same way. So they're doing a great job there.
Coach, this is Todd Shaughnessy in Spartanburg. What are the challenges in particular about facing a guy like Davis that big? And he's only played one college game, but he looks like he's pretty tough to handle.
Yeah, I mean, the challenges are, again, when everything's good, he can still go and make plays. And he certainly did that a number of times, had over 100 yards receiving. And obviously he's got, great toughness. And, they didn't connect early, and then he just kept playing though. And as opposed to, having immaturity and getting dejected, he just kept playing and made a couple of real tough competitive plays, and then had a physical play. And maybe it might've been his last touchdown where he catches the ball in the hole shot in cover 2, and then, sheds 3 defenders to score. And so got a lot of respect for him, just what you see on tape from his attitude and his toughness as much as anything else. So, but again, he's a big guy to handle outside. So again, from a matchup standpoint, I really thought the DBs from on a couple of the jump balls from Duke actually were in good position. But again, he just out-competed him for the football.
Brad Sinkup here from Clemson SI. Jordan Williams, look, he's playing pretty well for you up front right now with Tyler Davis coming back. How is that going to change the rotation, or has Williams earned some more playing time?
Well, Jordan's doing very well. I think he's made, improvement, and he's playing faster. And I'm really proud of Jordan. He's really come on. So, we'll see what Tyler can do, coming back this week. I hadn't played in a couple of weeks, so we'll see. I don't know. That's hard to say right now. That'll really be determined more by the end of the week, what kind of a rotation you have and things of that nature. But if all things are even, we got a good rotation in there. You got to keep them fresh and keep them, coming in and out.
Coach, it's Trevor again. I think you mentioned before that it seems like Mario Goodrich is kind of snake bit. It's one thing after another with him. Are you hoping to get him back this Saturday?
Yeah, he's back. So it'd be good to have another, big long body outside to help us. So Mario's a good player and great kid. So he's easy to pull for. And but had a good week of practice last week.
Anybody else have anything for Coach Venables?
Brad again. Is Derion Kendrick, has he worked himself out of the doghouse a little bit with the coaching staff? You feel like he's ready to contribute more?
Yeah, he wasn't in my doghouse, so DK's fine. Everything's good, and I know Coach Swinney had talked a little bit about the first game, some discipline issues, but he hadn't been in my doghouse, hadn't been in our doghouse. He's done a good job. He comes to work every day, and Coach is trying to help him grow up and make good decisions and those kind of things. But his playing time hasn't been affected here the last week as a result of anything.
Coach, it's Trevor again. When you're getting ready to face a lefty quarterback, do you go out there and throw a lefty with the scout team?
We've never really done that. So, he's a tough guy to emulate, just his sheer size, and he's a big athlete back there that can throw it and run it both. So, tough guy to emulate, to say the least. So, we'll find somebody that can try to emulate him best we can, but we don't have any southpaws.
Hey, Coach, it's David Hood. You've kind of already touched on this just a little bit, but how impressed were you with Virginia and the fact that they didn't give up Saturday, that, they just kind of stuck with their game plan, and maybe it wasn't working early, but then things really started clicking for them there in that second half?
Yeah, I mean, if you just watch them last year, they played in a lot of tough games, battled into the fourth quarter. That's who they are. Coach Mendenhall's always done that when his team's at BYU. Just a very tough mindset, mature mindset, manage the clock, be efficient on both sides of the ball, don't give up big plays, and get it into the fourth quarter. That's, play a physical brand, and but at the same time be very efficient, don't expose yourself. Do a great job at protecting the football, and let's see what happens in the fourth quarter. But his team is they've got belief, so I'm not surprised at all. They got a bunch of guys coming back on both sides of the ball. They're healthy. Had a lot of time to install and to decide on what they can do, what they can't do personnel wise with some new faces, and probably transitionally helping with the number of the transfers they've had on both sides of the ball, helping these guys having a little bit more time to practice and to install in particular meat, so they know what to do. But so far as being competitive in tight situations and finding a way to win, not surprised at all. That's the kind of mindset that we're prepared for, on Saturday night. I think look back at last year, I think they had the ball close to 50 snaps in the first half in the ACC championship. Part of it was our offense was, scoring quickly, and then part of it was they were very efficient. We were having a hard time getting off the field, on defense. Decent, and keeping them out of the end zone, not great, but they possess the football. They know what they're doing, and again, how to get to manageable situations. Really smart that way.
Did it look like maybe they slowed it down at times against Duke Saturday instead of trying to just go fast, that they just kind of took their time on some of those drives?
I mean, I don't know if taking your time is maybe later. I think they wore Duke down, though. Again, I got to go look, but there's run 80-some plays. That's a bunch of plays. And they got a bunch of opportunities, Duke turning the ball over, but, they had close to 90 plays, I believe. So it's not going very slow. Slow games, high 50s, low 60s to me. But, they can go as fast as anybody that we'll see.
Brent, you've gotten a lot of linebackers on the field in the first 2 games. How do you kind of evaluate and handle playing time moving forward with that group?
I mean, I've been pleased with the progress. It's been able to give us a good snapshot of actual game film of what we're good at, what we're not good at, what we got to work on individually and certainly collectively. It's built confidence and, morale in the room and competition every day on the practice field. So, I think that it's still always fluid. Are they going to invest? Now you get into a game plan from one week to the next and getting the details of the game plan down and come out and practice in the right way. And then doing all the things off the field as well. So I would always say it's a little bit fluid, probably with that second and third team guys. And a lot of it's just evaluated week to week on how you're practicing. But it's a great group of committed guys. They love to practice. They love to compete. They're physical. They can run. Very supportive of one another. Very selfless group of guys. So I've been just super excited. And that's why, again, you've seen so many guys that have played because they deserve to play.
Hey, Coach Venables, it's Anna Hickey with Clemson 24/7. Was just wondering if you spent your Saturday of your open week watching college football, and if so, just any of the more entertaining games to you that stood out for good or bad reasons.
Yeah, I was at my daughters were playing in a basketball game or a tournament rather up in Spartanburg. So I saw some games later on that night. It was a lot of fun, a lot of stress. Watching other teams go through good and bad, highs and lows, winning and defeating, being defeated. Nothing surprises you. There's good coaches and players everywhere. You got to be ready to play every week, and it was neat to see more teams having the opportunity to play and compete. Understanding what everybody's gone through. And so that was as refreshing as anything, being able to watch those teams Saturday night.
Were there mixed emotions for you watching your alma mater, K-State, beat your former team, Oklahoma, for the second straight year?
I don't know, mixed emotions. I always pull for the underdog most of the time when I'm watching a game. So I know, what mental. I know what that locker room's like, kind of a us against the world mentality that Kansas State has, and to go on the road and really at the first half that it didn't look like they were going to be in the game, and just watch them battle back. But really, just it's a great lesson to learn, just to keep fighting, keep throwing haymakers, and don't quit believing. And they hung around and they made plays in the second half, and what a great comeback. It's just a neat, from a sporting event standpoint, something neat to appreciate and to watch, the guts that they had to do that going on the road. And tough, for Oklahoma. They had their chances. And so, the flip side of that is the defeat, and the woulda, shoulda, coulda situation that they had there, and just a conversion away and a punt away from winning the game. And but it doesn't surprise me, just in regards to K-State, who they are, the type of guys that they have in their program. Certainly their staff is full of a bunch of winners, and again, their kids are tough as heck. So from just a sporting event standpoint, not choosing sides, again, always pulling for the underdog, and just seeing, a great comeback, with guys just hanging in there, fighting and competing.
Anything else for Coach?
Hey, Coach Venables, this is Grace Rayner with The Athletic. I know it's only been 2 games, but what have you learned about your defense through these past 2 weeks that maybe you might not have known in the preseason?
Probably the most noticeable thing is just that we've improved up front, and even though we've lost some guys, had some guys out, I've seen noticeably a number of players that have improved and gotten better from where we were in the spring. And so again, it's a long season. You got a lot of challenges ahead, but that's been great. I think I think we've got some young guys that have great futures, and some just in regards to some of the depth. A bunch of babies out there running around, just now for the first time getting their ears wet, and there's going to be good days and bad days, but really excited about some of our young players across the board, up front and in the back end. And then guys like Skowski and, Nolan Turner, in particular, those two guys, they're so steady. And, with those seniors, they play at a different kind of level of confidence and consistency that you want all your players to play with. But Skowski, when he's been just a machine. He makes every play he's supposed to. And then, 3 or 4, other plays that are just effort kind of plays, instinct kind of plays that really show up. But again, just, we're not anywhere close to where I believe that we will be by the end of the year. And we've got a lot of growth to do, a lot of improvement fundamentally, scheme. Still working on our chemistry. That's developed over the season. What our identity is, I don't know what that is yet. And but we're fixing to get really challenged here. Moving forward in the meat of our schedule. So we're going to find out a lot about our team. Over the next month or so. And but a lot to look forward to, though, for sure.
We'll take one more for Coach V.